A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-kitchen place in Blacktown.
And how much did that set you back instead of 700?
Just a mere 660.
So you saved 40 grand. I mean, if I look at it that way. And instead of a 2-bedroom apartment in Seven Hills, you got a 3-bedroom house on 600 square meters of land in Blacktown?
Close. Yeah, 580.
Round it up.
Round it up, yeah.
So here I have today with me a good friend of mine, Ashwin Saini. Ash, how are you?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm all right, buddy. How long have we known each other?
Mate, since back in the days, going back when we started going Sikh youth camp together.
Yeah, what was that, like 2004, I think, maybe? So
yeah,
21
over
years?
20 years.
Over
yeah,
20 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap, mate.
Yeah, we go back decades.
20 plus years, 21 years at least, for sure. Documented evidence.
go back to the
Oh,
roll call.
God.
At
And we
Sikh
might,
youth camp.
we probably went to
yeah.
at least 10 Sikh camps together. Definitely more than 5.
Yeah, minimum.
If not 10.
Minimum 10.
If not 10.
Yeah.
We've been through many turns of events, hey? From you buying Holden Astras to kitting them out with the best sound systems.
What a waste of money, man. All the money that I pissed away back in the day. I'm so glad that I've made it back up with all those quality investments that I've had proper guidance from.
We'll get
you.
there. We'll get there. But let's chat a little bit more shit about the. But remember that time when I had my L's and wanted to drive, learn how to drive manual, and you and me would meet up at night, and I'd take your car, go for a bit of a spin up and down the street.
All right, yeah, those were the days. Remember we went to
Remember we saw the shooting?
Brighton Les Hands?
Yeah, is that what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, and somebody got stabbed.
Dead. How do we stabbed or shoot? Stabbed. Yeah, stabbed.
Yeah, and he wanted me to take him to the hospital.
Fuck,
in my
I'll
car.
never forget that. We were just sitting in the car, and this guy just runs up to the side of the car and fucking, it's like, I've been stabbed. Call the ambulance.
Bloody hell, man.
God damn, yeah. And then I remember we start with him, and then we got the ambulance and fucking waited with him, and then the ambulance
I wasn't taking him to the hospital in his.
Well, what year was that? 05, 06? Nah, it would have been 07, 08, I think.
You were in high school.
So it would have been 07, 08, because I definitely wasn't in year 12. I was in year 10 or 11. Damn the crazy shit we got up to. And then what about your favorite job, mate? Coles, Rouse Hill?
Oh, shelf stacking at Rouse Hill in the mornings. Those were the days, man.
All of those have brought us to this point. But, I mean, what was it like? If I think about our investments now, I think historically I've always been pretty big on investments. You were probably the guy that was a little bit harder to control because you loved your... you had a penchant for, branded items, luxury cars, here and there.
Branded items, not so much. Yeah, luxury cars. Yeah, but that was just a phase that I went through when I was younger, man. Luckily, it's all out of my system now. I just drive a simple car that gets me from A to B, something which you help me source as well. I pass all of my purchases through you these days.
I do remember sourcing you a Ford Fiesta. What was it like? It must have been like 2016.
Yes, yeah.
2016 or so, right?
2016, yeah. We drove to
Are you still driving
Bondi.
That today? Are you still driving that today?
Yeah, still driving it today.
Holy shit, buddy.
I'm a simple guy, man.
That car's seen some Ks.
It has, yeah. No, I think it's time to update.
What are we up to now in terms of Ks?
120, man.
Oh, that's lightweight, bro.
Yeah.
120 is nothing.
Yeah. I could still potentially drive it into the ground, man. Just see how much Ks it'll get me. Sort of. It's manual.
But you were driving the Mazda 6 before, right? You had a manual Mazda 6?
Yeah, until somebody rear-ended me while I was driving to the airport in the morning. Some sleepy cunt. Yeah.
That was how many Ks on that? That had pretty high Ks from memory. It was at least 180 or 200 plus.
Probably 110. Yeah.
Oh, 110. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was more. Shit, mate. Bit of a journey. And then now let's talk about investments. Like, how did you get started? How did you think about investing? What made you get into it?
Good question, man. Like, maybe I need to get some properties to my name. I saw what other people were doing. I was like, nah, man, I need to get ahead of the game. What Seanjit has started with his journey in 2011, maybe I need to follow the same lead. It is good to, try and create it. What is it called? Wealth creation sort of thing. I wanted to set myself up financially for the future. So that's when I started thinking about getting into property investment.
Yeah, nice. And so that was what?
2020, true. Yeah. I just come back from my trip in Malaysia, visiting my dad over there and his family. And so that's when I had the idea to get on the first home buyers scheme.
Yeah, nice. And so how did you go about it? What were you thinking about? Where did you start actually? Because I remember you were starting with a unit in Kelly. I think was it in Kellyville or somewhere else? I can't remember. But
No, it was like a fancy premium luxury 2-bedroom unit in Seven Hills.
Wow.
Walking distance to Seven Hills Station, yeah.
Yeah.
2 parking lots, not one, but 2.
in walking distance to Seven Hills Station. You can't beat that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that was a good selling point, yeah.
And how much were they asking for that unit?
I believe just under 700,000.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
2020, 700,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car space unit in Seven Hills. Any idea what that unit would be worth today?
I'd say the same, if not a little less. Like, it wouldn't have grown in price much, would it?
I don't know. We should probably have a look.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
I'd hazard a guess it's roughly at the same price, you know? I think you know, but my wife Nikita had a 1-bedroom in Kellyville Ridge, right? And she bought that for $490, and we sold it 6 years later, which was 2 years ago now, for $435,000. So we took a 60 grand loss on it.
Damn, man.
Okay, so
yeah.
Seven Hills unit didn't happen.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened and why and how did it happen?
I mean, before I was gonna make that life-changing purchase, that's when I took the decision to get over the phone to Sean.
Me is what he's referring to in this case.
And no, I couldn't be happier that, I actually ran it through you, because that's when you and your wife were on Bluetooth as we're driving as well. And that's when you sort of said maybe units are not a sound investment. Nikita shared her experience with me. She's like, you don't want a unit. Strata's constantly rising. She's been hit with a number of price increases over the years or during that time. And then she said, you want to have your own freestanding home. You don't want to be living wall to wall, sort of like hearing tenants' domestic sort of like arguments and shit. And
sounds like my wife.
Yeah.
Okay, and then right, refresh my memory. We're having this conversation. I vaguely remember it because I think it was peak COVID and we were driving from Bondi back to my parents' place. But what did I say to you? And how did it make you feel?
You did say maybe you need to consider buying a house, a freestanding. Said that it would be worth its weight in gold in the future, like the land component itself. So that's when I started looking at properties with freestanding homes with larger land components. Yeah, something with granny flat potential in the back. Subdividable potential. Yeah. Which the property that I actually ended up purchasing in Blacktown has all of that. It ticks the boxes. Yeah.
And so we start at the top where we were 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, luxury penthouse. Though I question luxury. Car spaces, let's not forget that, at 700,000. Where do we end up? What did you end up buying?
A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-kitchen place in Blacktown.
And how much did that set you back instead of 700?
Just a mere 660.
So you saved 40 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, if I look at it that way. And instead of a 2-bedroom apartment in Seven Hills, you got a 3-bedroom house on 600 square meters of land in Blacktown?
Close. Yeah, 580 or more. Yeah.
Round it up.
Yeah.
Square meters of land in Blacktown. Now, what was interesting about this house?
Well, you have the it's a unique purchase, right? Because it has like a bedroom and a kitchen, a bathroom at the back of it that's sort of semi-detached or self-contained. So I have like 2 separate tenants in that property instead of the one. So yeah.
And so were you sort of cash flow positive from day one? I mean, you lived in the front bit for a bit.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Now it's an investment property, right? So once you put 2 tenants in, I assume you'd be cash flow positive because you essentially had a house and a granny flat.
That's right. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
And so that's really interesting. Self-contained, house divisions are not something we come across quite often. but they have their own quirks. And you and me have spoken a lot on WhatsApp about those quirks over the years. The main one being electricity.
Yeah.
Touch on that for us a little bit.
No. Yeah, that's the only downside to the property is the tenants flagrantly abuse like utility privileges, and they sometimes use like $680 for electricity in a month.
Let's talk about the upside.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the upside. Okay, so $660,000. Last valuation, what'd you get?
Just under $1.1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just doing the maths in my head. Is that like a 80%? It's got to be at least an 80% increase. And we're sitting here now in September 2025. So, Ashwin, you bought this house 5 years and 3 months ago? When did you buy it? March 2020?
March 2020.
Okay, 5.5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5 years ago, and we're sitting on $600,000 worth of price gains. That's insane.
Nah.
How does that make you feel?
It's honestly surreal. It's very hard to believe, man. You know, just coming from humble beginnings and making that purchase. I was meant to actually purchase a PPOR, you know, a PPOR, like something to live in, you know, like, you know, something decent and, you know, good quality. But like, I mean, the new trend these days is to rentvest. You rent where you want to live and then you just invest. It's just, you know, part and parcel. It's part of the game, isn't it? You just get in where you can afford, basically. So
fast forward 5.5 years, right? Mm-hmm. I've obviously gone out and started PropSpotter, and you had some equity, right, in the property. So talk to me a little bit about how we first started talking again. I mean, obviously we've been talking over the years, we're friends, but how we first started talking about property this time around, and how we managed to, you know, what you ended up doing from a financial standpoint, and how PropSpotter helped you buy that next property.
So some years had gone by since my property purchase, and I did indeed realize that, you know, there was inbuilt equity, and I knew that it was the time to make another move. That's when I started doing inquiries. I tried to get, you know, my pre-approval sorted, but basically trying to work out the suburb that I wanted to invest in was, you know, it was proving a very hard and difficult decision to make on my own. You know, I was, you know, presented with analyst paralysis, just too many freaking decisions. I mean, too many options out there where I'm at going with another firm, and they were advising me to invest in far north Queensland, and that just didn't sit right with me because, you know, there's a lot of weather events there, and I just thought that like far north Queensland, namely Townsville, was just being pumped up by a lot of. And so so I just wanted to like invest. I was thinking about investing in a main capital city.
And this firm you were using, they were a buyer's agent.
They were, yeah.
And so you'd given them a deposit, right? I think when we first started talking, you brought that up. You'd given them a deposit to source you some properties, and they were bringing you duds in far north Queensland.
Mm-hmm. That's right, yeah.
And your clear brief to them was, I wanted something in Melbourne. Or was it in a capital city? I can't recall.
I mean, it was either Perth, because Perth was that time. Yeah, I think, Melbourne, it did present like good value for money down the track. But I was leaning more towards Perth at that time.
And so you basically dropped the buyer's agent.
Yeah, that's right.
And you lost your deposit. That's $2,000.
Yeah.
$2,000 and poor Ashwin will never see back.
Yeah,
but hopefully we'll make it an equity.
Easy go, yeah.
Right? And we started looking in Melbourne. So tell me, which suburb did we source out for you, and what did you end up buying?
I mean, there was regional areas that presented good value for money as well. Along F3, is it like Geelong and whatnot?
Oh yeah, Corio and all those places. Yeah, right. You're right. We looked there, but we said, you know, got down to the nitty gritty of it, and we said
I would have been too out of pocket. Like what do you call it, per year, right?
Yeah, from a cash flow perspective, you would have been looking at a 4% or sub 4% yield, which is not great for your holding costs.
I mean, because like straight off the bat, I told you my goals, and they were to have, you know, a big block of land with subdivision potential, plus the potential to fit a granny at the back, you know, down the track. So yeah.
And so what did you end up finding?
I mean, that's when you sort of like drop new suburb. I mean, you were behind the scenes like suburbs in Melbourne. And that's when you came across this like a dark horse.
Just the suburb.
No, okay.
No magic here, brother. No magic. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. No magic here.
Shaunji presented me with I had never heard before called Digger's Rest. I kept on telling him maybe Melton, like represents good value for money. I mean, I was leaning more towards Melton, but yeah, pick a diamond in the rough with this Digger's Rest.
Melton is 1 hour and 10 minutes from Melbourne CBD. Digger's Rest, 35 minutes. Makes a hell of a difference for people looking for jobs.
Wow, yeah.
Obviously, you'll find that jobs can be in Melton too, but your chances of getting a job are higher if you're in a livable Melbourne CBD. And so, I believe your property at Diggers Rest is close to the train station.
Yeah, it's only a 14-minute walk from the station.
14-minute walk from the door to the station.
Right. How good
like
is
a 30,
that?
30, 35-minute train ride to the city?
Yeah, that's right. At the end of this year, the metro is going to go all the way through to the city, including four or five new underground stations. That's yet to open. And then Diggers Rest is on that lines, and there's going to be a turn up and go service. So yeah, I think you can catch trains every 4 minutes or so.
Mate, how good.
Yeah.
How good. The property that you're buying wasn't exactly in a livable condition, right? So what did you end up doing? How did that all come about? And you flew down to Melbourne yesterday. So tell me what you saw with your own eyes. The good and the bad, please, Ashwin. The honest.
Yeah. So initially we come across. I mean, the property that you presented me with, it did need a little bit of work, but we did see the potential because there was a granny at the back and it had been unfinished. That's when Shaunji said, like, maybe you need to look into seeing how much it'll cost to repair the whole thing. And that's when we got quotes and we realized that, it wouldn't cost that much. And then after we do the repairs, we did realize that we would be sitting on a lot of unrealized sort of potential, unrealized gains. So after I've completed the renovations, the valuations actually come back really good. I spoke to the real estate agent in Melbourne yesterday. So market value is looking like 590 to 650 now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm honestly really impressed with that. Yeah.
Nice. And the quality of the work, the renovations, I mean, touch, the feel. How was all of that?
I was quite impressed with the work, given the amount of money that I spent on it. I mean, there's 2 new kitchens, like one in the granny, one in the main dwelling. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised at the quality of materials used and the finishes. Yeah, it's all up standard. Yeah.
Was the granny livable now? Because I recall it being a dump before.
Yeah, it's almost like a brand new 1-bedroom unit, isn't it? Yeah. They're going to have, modern inclusions. I'm no longer a slumlord, man.
All right. And so, Ashwin, what next for you, property-wise or investment-wise? What are you thinking? What do you got? What are your goals?
I mean, I'm just hoping that I'm able to make another purchase in the future. I mean, I'll give my property, another 1 or 2 years, build up a little bit of equity, But I'll just give it some time. But I just hope I'm not priced out of the market in the future. But, we can always potentially look at investing in regional areas in the future because that represents good value for money. But no, I'll definitely stick with the journey and see what I can't purchase in the future. But Melbourne is now in the early stages of its growth phase. So I'll just let the market,
do its thing.
Do its thing, cook up, go from there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to spend time with us today and run us through your property journey.
Man. Yeah.
Pleasure
working with you, man.